Hey, what's up, mortals? It's NoahStorys here, and before we get into the video, there are a few things I'd like to say first. Firstly, thank you, Honey, for sponsoring this video. Secondly, a quick thank you to our supporters on Patreon. The full list will be at the end of the video. If you'd like to support us and our content, please go over there and check it out. Thirdly, if you have a what if idea and you want it done by us ASAP, you can now commission it from us. Go into the Discord that is in the description of this video and DM the head writer. Tell him your idea and he will explain the process to you. Lastly, this video is written by me. Link to my channel in the description of this video. Please check it out after the video. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. In the previous episode, the battle against the League of Villains continued. Shigaraki teleported the students and Aizawa to the city to make their deaths as public as possible. The students were losing the battle, but reinforcements came in the form of other heroes, arrived in time to help turn the tide of the battle. Shigaraki puts his hand on the high-end Nomu Hood. Hood pleads, "No, master, please no!" The Nomu starts disintegrating, with Shigaraki having stolen his power, making himself stronger. He says, "Kurogiri, get these hero pests out of here and keep them busy while I take care of these brats who killed Master." Kurogiri says, "Are you sure, Tomoe Shigaraki? I would have to take our armies with me in order to do that. It will be 3 against 1. Shigaraki, angered, with anger swelling up inside him, says, "Just do it. I'll kill them in no time." Kurogiri complies and opens a portal, taking Hawks, Mirio, Gran Torino, Night Eye, along with a lot of other heroes and the Nomu away to a different part of the city. The ones that are left are Midoriya, Bakugo, Todoroki, and all the other unconscious heroes and students. Bakugo says, "Bad move taking away your army like that. Now it's just 3 against just you." Midoriya says, "We sure have the number advantage, but don't underestimate his decay ability. It's extremely powerful, and since he apparently has the power to steal other quirks, he can have a number of different tricks up his sleeve." Todoroki says, "So we should probably keep our distance in order to attack." Shigaraki rushes in, grabbing a growing muscle mass on his arm and shooting a wave of decay. Annoyed, Shigaraki says, "What are you babbling over there?" Todoroki makes a wave of ice in order to block him, jumping out of the way at the same time. Midoriya and Bakugo jump out of the way too, one using his explosions and the other one using One for All. Shigaraki goes to smash the ice. As he smashes it with his strong arm, Midoriya and Bakugo jump at him, landing an attack each. Shigaraki takes the hit, being pushed back a bit. He takes a step forward and says, "That tickled." Shigaraki then charges at Bakugo, screaming, "You die first, Gatsuki Bakugo!" As he gets close, a wall of flames appears in front of him. Todoroki says, "We aren't going to let that happen." Midoriya concentrates and says, "Black Whip, 40%! Tendrils come out of his arms, surrounding Shigaraki. He spins around, throwing Shigaraki away. Todoroki uses his ice and freezes Shigaraki in place. Bakugo gets up, using his explosions to propel himself forward, jumping at Shigaraki. He starts spinning, and he reaches him and yelling, "Pulitzer Impact!" Shigaraki breaks out of the ice, punching Bakugo back before he could throw his attack. Shigaraki says, "This new quirk is so weird to use. I have to wind up a lot, not like with what I'm used to at all." Shigaraki runs at both Midoriya and Todoroki. Todoroki makes an ice wall to block his path, but Shigaraki doesn't slow down. Breaking through the ice, throws an attack at Midoriya with as much power as he can. Before Shigaraki can punch him, Todoroki makes an ice slope, pushing himself away. Shigaraki punches the ground. He says, "You are really getting on my nerves, son of Endeavor." Shigaraki grabs a huge boulder out of the ground and throws it at Todoroki, hitting him in the head, taking him out of commission and splattering a lot of blood on the ground. Midoriya rushes at Shigaraki, punching him with a 80% Delaware Detroit smash. Shigaraki catches it and without even flinching pushes Midoriya away. Bakugo shouts, AP shot! Shooting a lot of smaller explosions at Shigaraki. Shigaraki walks towards Bakugo, taking every single attack. He then punches Bakugo's gauntlets, breaking both of them with one hit each. Shigaraki says, "It'll be your turn soon. Just wait." Shigaraki grabs Bakugo and throws him into the ground, grabbing a piece of rubble and putting it on top of Bakugo. Midoriya throws an 80% Air Force Delaware smash at Shigaraki. Shigaraki counters it with just a normal attack. Shigaraki starts walking towards Midoriya and says, "Just because you have one for all doesn't make you special. You have a quirk. Congratulations. You're still not using it correctly." Midoriya goes in for a kick, shouting, "St. Louis smash!" Shigaraki grabs the leg and uses it to smash Midoriya into the ground and says, "That should take you out of the fight for a bit." Midoriya says, "I'm not done." He then starts getting up, so Shigaraki reacts and punches Midoriya again with his newly increased strength. Says, "Now you are." He then starts walking towards Bakugo. In the sidelines of the battleground, somebody starts getting up. Monoma gets up and looks around, seeing his fellow students down for the count. Monoma sees Aizawa and runs to him, trying to wake him up. Seeing that he is not reacting, he looks at the battlefield. Shigaraki reaches Bakugo and grabs the piece of rubble he put onto him, throwing it away. Monoma starts running. Bakugo reaches out to Bakugo and asks, "Any last words?" Bakugo says, "Fuck you." Shigaraki says, "Very well then." He's about to touch Bakugo when Monoma comes from behind, pushing him off Bakugo. Shigaraki says, "Very well then, you die first." Monoma says, "My, isn't that an interesting quirk you got there?" Monoma touches Shigaraki's arm, stealing the quirk All for One from him, using the copied All for One he just copied when he pushed Shigaraki out of the way. Shigaraki asks, "What?" Monoma says, I took your quirk, using your quirk. Isn't that ironic?" Shigaraki's face fills with a look of rage and he screams, "Give it back! Give it back! Give me back Master's quirk!" Shigaraki accidentally touches Monoma's arm with all 5 fingers. Monoma then takes the muscle enhancing quirk from Shigaraki. Using it, he punches Shigaraki off him. Bakugo gets up, holding his broken arm with his other arm. Monoma walks towards his body, and his body starts to decay. Monoma says, "Bakugo, I don't feel so good." He takes a step and falls to the ground. Bakugo says, "Don't die on me. I was already the reason All Might died. I won't be the reason you die too." Monoma says, "Tell my story. And remember, I died a hero." Monoma fully decays, becoming nothing but dust in the wind. Bakugo gets up with a look of rage all over his face, and he shouts, "You bastard!" He uses his explosion to propel himself forward and throwing the biggest explosion he's ever thrown at Shigaraki, knocking him back. Midoriya gets up saying, "I'm not done. I'm not done." He activates One for All at full power, his hair flowing. Midoriya then vanishes, going at full speed to knock Shigaraki. Shigaraki lands on the ground, bouncing 3 times before definitely hitting the ground. In the chopper, the reporter says, They did it! After all that destruction, the heroes have defeated the leader of the League of Villains, the one known as Tomura Shigaraki." She gets a message through an earpiece and continues, "I have just gotten word that the heroes who managed to defeat the villain are just first-year students, and that Hawks and the group of pro heroes have managed to defeat the rest of their group." On the ground, Deku raises his arm to show his victory, with a smile on his face, and a couple of tears on his face too. After a couple of moments of holding the pose, Midoriya passes out from exhaustion, having used all of his stamina fighting Muscular, the Nomu, Gigantomachia, and Shigaraki, Deku one after the other. 3 days later, in a hospital, Midoriya wakes up. After a couple minutes that he spends talking to his mother, the doctor comes into the room. Inko says, "I'm just so proud of you. I'm so glad that you managed to survive, Izuku. You were amazing." The doctor says, "Pardon me, Miss Midoriya. Can I have a talk with your son, alone?" Inko hesitantly says, "Okay," and walks out of the room. The doctor takes his seat and shows Midoriya an X-ray. He says, "What do you see here, Midoriya?" Midoriya, looking at the picture, not recognizing much, says, "Bones?" The doctor continues, "That's right. These are your bones. After doing extensive testing on you and comparing the results with some previous findings, I have to say, 1. It's a miracle you're alive. If what I was told is correct, you used a lot more power than the first time you ended up here. Last time your body was damaged beyond repair. It's a miracle unto itself that you healed from that. But this time you didn't just evade death, you did so with barely any damage taken. You're a very lucky young man, Midoriya. It seems you have learned to control your power." Midoriya looks at his hand that used to be broken and says, "I am." "Hey doctor, can you tell me what happened to my friends?" The doctor answers, "Well, most of your friends escaped with barely any harm. Those who did were either checked out of the hospital or are still here for some tests. Those with more major injuries are still being treated. At least those that were in the battle in the city. I've been informed that you were taken here from a forest training facility. Those who suffered injuries there are at home at another hospital. But I do have to inform you that some of your fellow students and one of your teachers wasn't so lucky." Midoriya asks, What do you mean?" The doctor says, "Sorry, it's not my place to say." The doctor leaves the room. About an hour later, the police arrive in Midoriya's room. Midoriya asks, "What's going on? Why is the police here?" The police commissioner says, "Izuku Midoriya, I have a couple of things to say to you. 1. What you did was incredibly irresponsible. As a first-year student, you should not have risked your life like that. 2. Because of your actions, under any normal circumstances, we would be here to place you under arrest." Midoriya is about to say something, but the commissioner stops him with a gesture before continuing. "But after talking to your teachers and interviewing many of your fellow students, we decided that the blame for your actions belongs to your teacher, Eraserhead. If you wish to attend the hearing, it will be held in a couple of days. Lastly, I want to add this. From most of Japan and possibly the world, I thank you for your bravery. Me and the mayor, and even some higher-ups than us have spoken, and we all agree that you and your friends deserve something for your bravery. Because we know that one of you laid your life in battle, a proper send-off will be held in his honor." The next few days pass rather quickly. In this time, Midoriya attends and speaks at Aizawa's hearing. However, because of how events unfolded, Aizawa's teaching and hero license are taken from him. He does have permission to retake the hero licensing exam in a couple of weeks. Because his license was taken, Aizawa was also fired from UA. A proper funeral was held for Monoma by the city. Both Class 1A and B attended to show their respects. Because of the death of 2 of their teachers in the previous months, and the fact that they had to fire Eraserhead, the school hired new heroes, including the Endeavor, the previous number 2 hero who chose to help teach the next generation, rather than do nothing with that being in his retirement. And they also hired others. Midoriya, Bakugo, and Todoroki, for proving that they were ready for the big leagues, were given a provisional hero license without having to take an exam, with the promise that they will be updated to full-blown licenses if they so choose once they graduate from UA. After all this, the Heights Alliance project is set into motion, but it will only take effect once the second semester begins. Weeks pass and the second semester at UA is around the corner. The day before the second semester begins, Midoriya goes to sleep and starts dreaming. A younger All Might appears in his dream and says, "Good job, young Midoriya, you won." Midoriya, happy, says, "Thank you, All Might." All Might says, "And it looks like you're close to being able to handle all the power of One For All. Good job! You finish our job, at least the main one. As I already told you, your job isn't done yet." Midoriya, with a determined look, says, "Yes. There's still villains out there. There's still a lot of darkness, and people need their light, their symbol, their beacon of hope. I need to be that light for them." That is where this series is ending, at least for the time being. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Now there is a few more things that I would like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us out make more content. Secondly, I'd like to thank our 5+ Patreon supporters for helping to fund these videos. Lastly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, which is me, so go check out my channel if you want to see some similar stuff. I also want to thank the editor a lot. Their details, well, his details will be in the description below. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video, and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you like this video. Until next time, everyone, peace out, mortals, and have an amazing day.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby.